Right, so I'm nearly done this side. So I just want to show you what I've been doing again. So we take our 1/2 inch section, we then take the section across, okay? And then let me just zoom it down a bit. Then we are going to do nice fair size weaves, okay? Get your foil and the balayage board. Fold the foil over the balayage board and then undo your section. You can see that nice tension, and I like to use a board because I can get real good saturation onto the hair. And remember, when you go in with your product, first of all, we swipe up. So we don't go down, we swipe up. And that way you're going to get a real nice seamless blend into the root mount. And then, like I said, with my client, she's got a lot of warmth. So there's a lot of red, a lot of orange tones through the midsection. So I'm really saturating that. I'm just going to try and lift up as much as we can. Again, those ends are very light anyway. So we don't want to be overlapping those ends. Because my aim is obviously to try and get this up to this. Okay, then your foil goes over the previous foil and get your ends out. So we've come right to the top now, okay? And remember, comb it all the way down because we want a bit more of a root mount. So comb it all the way down. Take your section. Nice fine weaves on the top section. We lift up, we comb straight up, and then we comb straight down, and we're just teasing it slightly. Okay, you get your foil and your balayage board, and like I said, when you have the back comb onto the foil, we just push straight up, straight off the foil, okay? And then that will come out nice and easy when we shampoo. So the product, swipe up towards the root area, okay, and then swipe down. Now, what I was going to say, my client is obviously like a colour correction, so we are doing it as kindly as possible without damaging and over processing the hair. So if your client is just a normal colour client and just wants a transformation to a lived in colour, with your sectioning you can go really fine. So if your client wants to go really super blonde, you do the same principle of what I've done today, but you take your sections a lot finer all the way up. I'm only taking like quite large sections because I don't want to be going in too heavy on the first application. So once I've finished my client, she'll go away for 3-4 months and then come back, and then I can go in again and do the same what I've done today, but I might take a few like thinner sections all the way through and then slowly build up. And that is how I get my clients from really dark hair to super blonde within like a year. So I like to do my clients gently, and I just like looking after the client's hair, really. So, right, what we've done the base sections now. Now what I'm going to do is work in between my foils now, because we've done a root mount. I'm going to use the same colour as what I've used the root mount, but I want to get rid of most of this redness. So I'm not over processing the hair with a pre-lightener. I'm now going to put a low light in, and that is going to get rid of most of this as well. So even though it's the first application, it's still going to look so different, but we're going to neutralise a lot of that red today. Right, so this is my section in between the foil. Now I go in quite heavy with the weave, okay? So now you can see there's only a little bit left, because obviously that's going to be left. So, and this is going to be coloured. So you can see how much we've like got rid of the bright colour from today. The hair that's in the foil now being processed, and now the hair that's being left in between is now going to be taken up with a low light, so it's only now going to be a little bit of hair left. But I've had to go in with quite a sort of like a darkish colour just to try and get rid of most of that redness, but I want it with a bit of dark low light through. So the same colour what I've used on the root, I'm now going to use as my low light. So I'm now just going to work in between my foil. But towards the end is a lot lighter, okay? So I'm neutralising a lot of that brightness through the midsection. I'm not going to take the low light through those ends because I still like to see lightness, but nice to have different tones. So I don't want it to look like quite blonde and then like a real full-on low light all the way through. I want it to be lived in. So this is how to achieve a lived in colour, doing the root mount and now doing the process with the foil with the low light. So we now leave those ends out, okay? So you can see that's a lot more redder through there, okay? So we lift that foil up, and again we take the section underneath. So quite heavy foil in with the weave. You might think, oh, you're not using the balayage board. I don't need to use the balayage board when I'm doing the low light. So this is going to give it that lived in, grown out effect. You might think, oh, look at all that colour that, you know, that's still left on those ends, you know, you're leaving it out. Yeah, I am, because it's the first application and you want your client, don't forget, even though your client may want like something completely different, it's still going to be a little bit nerve-wracking for that client. So I still want the client to be, you know, like happy with the hair, and it's not too much of a big shock, first of all. It's sort of, you know, introducing a new colour to your client gradually, and then once they get used to it, they're like, oh yeah, you know, I'm so looking forward to like getting lighter and lighter, as if you would like do your client straight away really light from being a different colour, that it might be a little bit, ooh, you know, straight. There we go. So now take the next section, nice heavy weaving with the low light. And this is what I'm going to do all the way through. Just in between my packets of the blonde that's in there at the moment. Okay, next section. So when you lift the hair up, although there's a lot of warmth in there, but when you lift the hair up, it's quite light. It just gives it a real nice sort of warm blonde effect, like when you lift it up. So can you see the difference from those ends to where that lived-in colour is going to be? It's just going to look really nice. Although, like I say, there's still like red and like orange tones going through, but when you lift it up against that colour, it looks so different. So it's learning a little bit of the tricks, really. So as I say, I don't like to over process the hair too much on the first application, because, you know, it's a colour correction. Obviously, you know, I would like to say I've normally taken a test piece off my client's hair beforehand, just to see like the level of lift. But even when you take the test piece off of like a certain area, you might have not taken it off another area. So when you come to do that on the colour correction, it might have lifted up completely different. So this way, it just, you know, makes sure that everyone's can be happy really. But I know, like, before placing any colour, those ends, or like I say, although it's still got a lot of warmth in there, a lot of red, but when you lift it up, it looks like a warm blonde anyway. So against like all the colours that I'm putting in today, it's just gonna look so, so different. So I really hope that from the tutorial that I've done today for you, that you've learned and picked up some great tips, and I can't wait to obviously wash this all off and dry it and just show you like the difference from we started off at the beginning. So when I do the low light in between, it's a lot of visual. So at the back, there's a lot of more warmth going a lot more further down. So I will paste further down because I don't want that vibrant colour in there anymore. I don't mind a little bit of warmth through those ends at the bottom, but I don't want to see a full on like real bright band at the back of any colour. So I've neutralised it with a pre-lightener, and then I've neutralised it with a low light. So yeah, so just bear that in mind when you are doing like a low light. If you think, oh my god, that's a bit further down, can I low light? Because obviously you've got to leave the ends out. Yes, you can. You can low light as far enough as you need to, basically. So again, here, so you can see it stops to about here. So I will low light towards down here. Okay, so that is it. So what I'll do, I'm going to finish off the back, and then when I next come back, my client will have been all washed and everything, and then we can go through the drying process and yeah, see the great result. Okay, so I'll see you soon. Bye.